What's up, risk managers? My name is Nasdaq Anonymous, and I'm addicted to the NQ. And boy, is she one hell of a drug. And welcome to tonight's NA meeting, where we'll discuss the economic data for the week, analyze today's session, and from that, build a winning game plan for tomorrow's price action. And if you haven't done so already, you can show your support by subscribing to the channel. And with that said, let's jump into the charts now. This is tomorrow's data, and be mindful that all times aren't central time. And we have a big block of news scheduled for tomorrow, so let's jump into it. At 7:30, we have a big block of news with a focus on continuous and initial jobless claims, the New York Empire State Manufacturing Index, and the Philadelphia Fed Manufacturing Survey for the month of August. And finally, we have retail sales for the month of July. At 8:15, we have capacity utilization and industrial production for the month of July. At 9 o'clock, we have some housing news and business inventories. And at 10:30 and 12:10, we have the 4-week bill auction, and we had Fed Hawker speaking. And now that we know what to expect, let's jump into the charts and create a game plan for tomorrow's price action. This is the block of price action that we traded during today's stream, and today was definitely a trend day. And as I analyze the charts, I see about 4 clues that's going to be essential for helping us find the best trades going into tomorrow's session. So let's jump into it. During the overnight session, the Nasdaq opened and traded in a 60-point range that we discussed in last night's NA meeting. However, once the news was released, the market swept the liquidity above and below this range, and the market sold off 250 points to the downside, taking out CPI's lows. And once the bears failed to rotate price lower and the bulls found support, the market rallied 278 points to the upside, taking out CPI's highs, where the market sold off and traded in a bearish range. And towards the close of the session, we did see a bounce and price closing above this range. And based on this price action, here's what I'm going to be looking for. So the official release of CPI happened at 7:30 Central Time. Now, it's not our job to understand the data, but to trade the reaction to the data. And the reaction was this big move down, followed by a big move up that sold off and traded in a bearish range until the end of the session. We did see a bounce where price had a strong close above this range. So that tells me that the bulls want higher prices. I'm going to be looking for the bulls to retest this range between 180 and 150 because this range has already acted as resistance twice today. And if the bears fail to protect this area, then a range between 255 and 230 is on the table. But if the bears are successful in defending this range and the market begins to sell off, then I'm going to be paying attention to how price reacts when it trades into a range between 1920 and 990. Here is where we saw the bulls previously find support, and it may act as support once again. But if the bulls fail here and price trades lower, I'm going to be looking at a level at 18,965 or a double bottom at this range between 940 and 915. But with this volatile moves intraday, the price action overnight is definitely going to be essential for our bias going into tomorrow's stream. Now, if you're enjoying the content and appreciate the value that me and my trading partner provides to the trading community, make sure you're subscribed to the channel and hit that notification bell so you don't miss the release of our next NA meeting and live streams. And with that said, let's jump into an ES chart. This is an ES chart, and this is the block of price action that we traded during today's stream. And just like the NQ, during the overnight session, the E-mini S&P opened and traded within an 11-point range. However, once the news was released, the market swept the liquidity above and below this range and fighting resistance at a level that we discussed in last night's NA meeting, where price sold off 35 points to the downside. And as the bears failed to rotate price lower, the bulls found support in a range that we also discussed in last night's NA meeting, rallying 49 points to the upside, where price sold off and traded in a bearish range. And just like the NQ, price did see a bounce towards the end of the session, and we did have a strong close above this range. And based on this price action, here's what I'm going to be looking for. So because price closed above this trading range, I'm going to be looking for the bulls to continue to trade to the upside. And I'm going to be looking at the psychological level around 5,500 and 495. If price trades into this range, this is where I believe that the bears will come in and we will see a reversal. However, if the market does manage to protect the high at 487 and we see a move to the downside, I'm going to be looking for the bulls to find support around 450 and 445. Because as you can see, this is where that previous equilibrium range is at, and we have the 200 EMA lurking in this area. I do feel that the market does have more room for upside, and we did get a decent pullback in the middle of today's session. However, the bears did not finish their rotation down. So that could be an objective for the bears to at least get a double bottom at that 440 to around 435 level. And because of all this bullishness, I do expect for the market to continue to trade to the upside. And I will be looking for buying opportunities versus selling opportunities. So I definitely will be keeping my eye on tonight's price action, and it will definitely shape my bias going into tomorrow's stream. And in summary, both markets opened trading in a range before the CPI was released. Both markets saw a bullish reaction from the news. Then afterwards, both markets experienced a major sell-off. And finally, both markets bounced towards the end of the session and closed above the bearish range. So I do expect for price to continue higher. And that's all I have for tonight, risk managers. And you can watch us trade these concepts live by clicking this video. We'll see you there.